here's the good part now. You've seen the stock, you've seen some of the products I sell, and that's just a quarter of it. Come and look at the simulators. This is the unit that's owned and practiced on by over 20 V8 supercar drivers. Come on for a walk. This is the little room. We call this the race room. It's like a little den at the bottom of a 10-story building, but it's nice and cozy, no windows. This is called the fabulous Hyper Stimulator. If you haven't seen these before, they've been around about 13, 14 years, built and designed in Australia, in fact in Melbourne, and I'm the longest serving hyper agent in Australia. Started my business over 13 years ago in Broadbeach, up in the Gold Coast.
We've got 4 of them.
Actually there's 5 in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This particular one over here you can see is done with Marlboro livery for the great Michael Schumacher. This is my personal one I used to use at home, and I brought it into the store now just to show the customers.
Okay, and there's number 5.
That's it, just sitting over here in the corner. This is for the private guys that don't want to be seen like they're doing it too hard around Bathurst. But here's the good news about the Hyper Stimulator. Not only is it the world's best race car simulator, it's actually designed to be sold to the home. But the great news is we hire them here on the premises. Up to 5 people can link, or 2 people per simulator, which means you can have 2 guys in each one and do a pit stop race of 3 hours long to try and break the lap record, which is currently held by Formula Ford champion Ryan Simpson of Sydney, 2 minutes and 9 seconds, .57. So it's an extremely good lap. And the real race lap at Bathurst is held by Greg Murphy in a qualifying lap at 2:06, but in race pace, that's about a half a second off. So it shows you the quality of the Hyper Stimulator and the software that we run. Let's go for a drive, eh?
Happy days.
You can see I'm a pretty big guy, but I don't be on the camera too much with this belly. But that's the great thing about the Hyper. This unit will hold my weight. I'm 125, 30 kilos, and look, I can get in. But I've got a pedal adjustment just over here, if you can see that, Mr. Cameraman. And I can move the pedal box up and down to each different runner, depending where I want to be. So I'm going to put that at number 3, so there's 3 holes showing. Then I can just hop straight in.
So it doesn't matter how tall you are, you've got
no,
you can
well,
adjust it to fit.
I put guys in here that are up to 6'6" high. Because some guys can be tall here but have shorter legs. Some guys, I've had a couple of guys that just can't fit in, but not very often.
Yeah, well, they'd be basketball
When you hop
players.
in a race car, it's like a Formula Ford or Formula 1 cockpit, and I'm a big guy. Legs got to go down under first like that, and then bum second, so you're right into the cockpit. And this is a small screen at 20 inches, but of course at home you can add a screen such as a 43-inch plasma if you like, or LCD screen. Depends how far you want to go, but we use this size screen so we can sit this on the steering box. This unit here lifts up and down. Watch this adjustment, up and down like that, depending where I want to be. Just got to watch the screen, of course, in this situation. Click it in, pull towards me, go to the mouse. Let's do some V8 supercars around the famous track of all, which is, of course, Mount Panorama at Bathurst. We'll just click to there. We'll just show you a lap of what the real guys do. Now, of course, most people say, well, it's not the real thing. Well, that's true, because the PlayStation and Xbox product that's around, what it does is it actually demonstrates to our young people, and this is the problem I have with it, it demonstrates that you can go around a corner at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Just look at the difficulty side of things here. I'm racing my profile here, so I have none of this help on, but you can have everything from traction control, anti-lock brakes, to corner markers, steering help, brake help. We give you that if you want it, but we don't encourage it, because at the end of the day, it's all about doing the real thing as close as possible. Now, the unit can't give you G-force, but it does give you everything else that you do in a race car, from your button control here on the steering wheel, brake bias up and down, ignition, starter motor, pit stop, speed limiter, tyre temperatures, etc. So I'll go up here to the garage, I'll just check my little setup here, looks okay, and we'll go out and try a race, or rather a lap I should say. We can also adjust here the seating in the car. Watch the mouse here, up and down on the dashboard as if I'm adjusting my seat, and also in and out. This is the clutch on the left hand flipper here. So I'm revving that in neutral now, and down here is my shifter. Can you see that? That's my sequential shifter pulling up towards me. Just check that I'm right, looking okay. Clutch in, just till we get started. The great thing about this software is it works on a theory of a real car, which is cold tyres, and most software can't give you that. because cold tyres in a real race car is exactly how it works. It takes actually around about 2 laps to get the tyres up to some gripping temperature. 200 marker there, just going to take it easy around this first corner. Nice and easy inside. Of course, most people blow it and hit that wall on the first corner because they think it does what a PlayStation does, and it doesn't do that in real life. So I'll just warm up the tyres here. Come up here to the Dick Johnson sort of bend, where the famous rock just happened around about here, back in 1980. Now, of course, the steering on the product is very, very sensitive compared to a normal road car. And most people, of course, will drive around and they're sort of steering and pushing the car really hard in and out like this. They can't control it. That's because you've got to allow for the fact that a race car is very, very direct. Normally I'll be wearing earphones so I can hear the engine and gear changes, but of course talking at the same time is very difficult. I'm going to go around here, I'm going to do a fast lap after this one because it won't time us anyway on this particular lap. Me being 46 years of age, best I've done is about a 2:12, but I've got people in the store here that can do that 2:10, 2:09. Down the famous Conrod Straight, we'll talk about that in a moment. Just to finish off with the buttons here. If I press this one and hold it in, it brings up my brake temperatures on the screen here. Press again, my tyre temperatures, 46, 51, 55, 59 and 60. So what that's telling me is the tyre temperature of each particular tyre, and of course the whole goal is when you have time on your hands here at Race Nuts Mega Store is to adjust the car in setup to get all the tyres even in temperature. Alright, here we go with our quickest lap. Down to Murray's Corner and on the power, fairly gently too, into third gear, come up to Hell Corner in second gear, there's a 150 marker, on the brakes, second gear, turn in early, use all the road, drift it out to the right, on the power quickly into third, check gauges, 50, 58, 61, 64. At this point the pit crew can talk to you during the race and tell you where you're running, or if any damage, you can just hear them now talking. 200 marker, 100 marker, big brakes, third gear, right-hander, tyres are still warming up, gently on the power. The biggest mistake most people make is to hammer it out of the corners. Exit speed is important, but so is also getting around without hitting the wall. Back to second gear for the cutting, got a yellow flag there. Oh, someone's on their roof. Looks like Craig Lowndes actually. That was a close call. Into third gear. Back off, blind right-hander, hammer the power back on, 168 kilometres an hour, into fourth, get off the power, turn left, easy into the corner, watch that wall, use all the road, over the skyline, wave to the crowd on the hill, flat out in 175 k's into fourth, back to third now, getting ready for the dipper, hard on the brakes, hard on the engine, back to second gear, throw the dipper across and throw it to the left. And power on. Whoa, a bit loose there. Down to the forest elbow, a little bit of a jerk on the steering. Second gear, turn left, got to be very accurate, watch we don't damage the car. Then onto the famous, most straight in Australia and probably the world is Conrod. 206 kilometres an hour, current split about at 1 minute 32 through there. Keep in the middle of Conrod, we're going to drift out to the left here now for the chase. 285 kilometres an hour, come across off the power, big brakes, car wants to buck and jerk everywhere, through to second gear, hear the gear change through the diff, power on, check mirrors, I've got the Commodore on my tail here, give me curry, back to third, then fourth, look for the braking marker again, 150 marker, big brakes again, third gear, second, turn early on the apex, power on gently, this is about a 210, 211, 212, fairly slow lap, 214, 216, big brakes again, second gear, and that's a lap of Mount Panorama. But of course, if I was to continue on, I could probably take another 3 seconds off that time because I'd have much more warmer tyres. If I'm in a big race here during the day, I can also press this button here on the keyboard, which is our Alt key, and my automatic driver takes over. You can see me now, I'm not actually driving the car, but my automatic driver is, and you can watch an outside view. And this is designed for when we do long 3-hour races here for endurance, where you can go out and do a wee-wee and have a cigarette and a drink, and he'll take over for you and he'll drive, at a half a second slower than your fastest lap. So doing 3-4 hours here is great unless you've got the other extra driver to do real live pit changes. And that's what it's all about, fantastic. And you got all different views there where you can watch from different positions over the bonnet, bumper bar, in car, over the top of the car. These are the girly views that are allowed on these arcade games. We don't allow that here. And there's the top of the mountain. Look at that beautiful view coming down through the dipper. And that's live through the system. And then of course I go back to in-car here. I'm just waiting to get back down to Forest Elbow here. I'm not driving, as you can see. Hit the seconds button, round I come in second gear. And I'm now on myself. Nearly lost it. And I'm back on live. Take over with the lap. And you see by the split time up there, it says I'm -3. So you can see there when I said I'd do it 3 seconds quicker, that's about right. Although the computer was basing that on my first 2 laps, the average of that time. Let's see if we can get this 2:13. Hard on the brakes, hard on the gears, big V8 supercar Falcon, or Commodore, whatever you prefer. Whoa, very loose through there. Lost half a second. Did a Peter Brock from 1990 there. Not good. 5th gear, 150, 100. Hard on the brakes again. 2nd gear. Look at the split time coming up. 2:07, 2:08. Certainly a quicker time than last. 2:10, 2:11, 2:12 and 13. So about 3 seconds quicker. Escape out of there.
And I think that's that was a very impressive demo you did for us there.
Well, that's the great thing about the product. You can do all kinds of cars. You can also check all your tyre temperatures and times afterwards. And then of course that's just the beginning. To finish off, just to show you quickly some of the different cars you can choose. V8s, and then you've got everything from a Ferrari and an Aston Martin. Look at this beast. What a hoot. The BMW GTR, Chev Corvette C6R, sorry. Ferrari Medina, and the great 550 Maranello. Just an extraordinary piece of equipment. Unbelievable to drive. You can do something like about 2 minutes around Bathurst compared to 2:13 in the V8 supercar. This thing is an absolute hoot. Ford GT, the whole works. And then of course everything from a Nissan Skyline to a Mazda 787, a Porsche 956. Check this era out. These are just fantastic. The Rothmans Porsche, they've got the brake dust on the sides. Wonderful. And of course you can come into the store and hire from $18 for half an hour up to 1 hour for $29 and $65 for a 3-hour session. Also tuition's available. I can sit here with you and actually go with you as you drive around the track and tell you with the gear changes and how to get the best out of your car, and also for setup as well. So depending on what you set up, that's the difference. The big Ford Mustang, Harley Davidson, all the way through to the Playboy car. That's for some pretty cool guys that like to think they're Healy. Japanese series, I've got Mazda RX-7, little yellow one from about 2004. We do all the Japanese series and circuits. And then Subaru, Mitsubishi Lancer, and of course also the biggest hoot here is the Nissan Skyline R34, an absolute beast of a thing. This is just a sensational car. And if I've got time, I don't know if I have, Julian, do I have time?
Oh, we're getting there.
We're getting there. I just got to show you quickly a lap around this thing. Is just an awesome piece of machinery, this. This is a track called Paul Ricard, which is in France, and it's on top of a mountain. It's actually a Formula 1 test track. But this long straight here, that's this Nissan. These are the Nissans that were banned from Bathurst in 1992 after they beat all the Commodores and the Holdens. Commodores and the Falcons, I should say. And what it did was created a lot of controversy because it's just so fast. Oh, I made a mistake here. I put some Subarus with it, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to blow these guys away from the demo point of view. 4-wheel drive, just incredible. Cold tyres again. And it just sounds so good. But I should have picked Skylines at the opposition. You can see these are a bit slow, but not to worry. And this is a natural race I'm doing at the moment. Probably good for me with cold tyres to go a bit slower. But I wanted to show you the speed and pick up of this car. It's just extraordinary. It sounds so much different to a V8, I can assure you of that. And it handles much better as well. Watch the power of this thing on the main straight here. Third gear. And now we're into it up the ripple strip. Get in the draft. 228 kilometres an hour. 248, 6th gear, 260. 275, 276, 281, 286. We've passed just about every car in the field, probably about 4th position now. Down under Marlborough, hard on the brakes. 3rd gear right-hander. Just feather the throttle. Power on, 4th gear. Down to a right-hander. Into 3rd, just a couple of little dabs. Made a bit of a fool of myself being against little Mitsubishis, but it was just a little mistake that I made in reference to, oh, setting it up and he lost it down to the gravel. He was having none of that, was he? He didn't like it at all. Here we go get this leader here now. But of course, this is really like racing against a guy with a broken leg, but that's okay. And onto the main straight again. Oh! He didn't like that at all. Bye-bye, baby.
So that's it, first place, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I already did it by cheating, but not deliberately.
Well, okay, Ian, I really appreciate you giving us a good show of the simulators and running us through your shop.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I've also got the tracks all listed at the top here. All the Australian circuits up the top there. So you can choose any one you want. You can race up to 60 or 70 different tracks throughout the world here. And they're all completely accurate, and unlike the arcade games, everything's accurate with cold tyres and reality yellow flags, black flags at the start if you choose to jump the start. Give you an idea of what we actually do, just turn the camera around and quickly have a look at the board there. You can see there from V8 supercars to Subarus, Mitsubishi, Ferrari 360 Medinas, Nissan RX-7s, all the way through to NASCAR down the bottom. We do NASCAR for the Americans. And then of course also A1 GP, which will be on the Gold Coast at Surfers Paradise next year. This is our records board here. You can, I think we saw that earlier.
Yeah, I showed you that.
Plus a lot of range of frames. We looked at those earlier, from Craig Lowndes to Great Michael Schumacher, Mark Webber. Plus we do specialised product as well. So that's what it's all about.
Alright, well thank you, Ian.
Come and see us. We're open 6 days. Shop number 7, Surface Avenue, Mermaid Beach. Phone 0755 277 047. Or call me personally and say, I want to get on the hyper stimulator and break the lap record. Just call me Ian, Big Ian. Because at race starts we're at 200 miles an hour, there ain't no friends.